right, well, we've reached that 2 o'clock hour, so I figured to jump in and get started. Hello, welcome to everyone. I've introduced myself a couple times around, but for those of you who've been logging in over the past few minutes, my name is Greg Dushinsky. I'm your Customer Success Manager with ShowingTime, and I'll be hosting this afternoon's training session for ShowingTime Appointment Center, really looking specifically at the mobile app for agents within HomeLife Landmark Realty. I mentioned this a couple times through before, but I always like to reiterate so everyone is aware you will be in a listen-only mode throughout the course of today's training, and that's really just to cut down as much background noise as possible for a recording that's being made of today's session. If you have questions that arise, there's a questions box available to you on the GoToWebinar control panel on your screen. Feel free to type those questions in as one of my colleagues is logged in this afternoon, and we'll be monitoring those questions as I go through the material. Also, I'll be staying on the line afterwards to make sure that no one goes away with any unanswered questions. So with that, welcome formally to the ShowingTime mobile app training. Thank you everyone for taking the time out of your afternoon to join me here today. I'm going to post up a short agenda of the topics we'll be covering about the next half hour or so. This is admittedly one of my favorite trainings to host within ShowingTime because I get to show you what's going on in the mobile app. And really illustrate to you that, agents using ShowingTime, you don't need to be tied to the desktop or to a laptop. You have an incredible amount of features and functionality available to you from a smartphone or from a tablet. So we're going to look at the mobile app and logging in and accessing your inventory, accessing your instructions, and making changes to them from the mobile app. Show you how you can access client information and illustrate some of the benefits of tracking your client information within ShowingTime. We'll look at all of the various ways to access showing details for appointments that you're involved with. We'll look at the various means of scheduling showings from your mobile app. And then finally, we're going to take a look in just a few minutes to take a peek into My Home, the client experience of ShowingTime, so that you as agents know what your clients can expect to see when they themselves log into My Home, our client experience of ShowingTime. So we start out with the most important thing, and that's getting started within the mobile app. And here we have a view of the initial login page once you've downloaded the app. Now, once the appointment center for HomeLife Landmark Realty does launch on Tuesday, the 19th of of January. I'm still a month behind in my brain. Tuesday, January 19th. You'll all receive a welcome email. You can log into the desktop. You can download the ShowingTime mobile app. It's very important to note that the username and the password that you use to access ShowingTime on the desktop is the same that you have or that you're going to use to access the mobile app. So you don't have two sets of login credentials. Once you do log in to the mobile app, once it's downloaded, you can simply swipe to the right on your screen or select that hamburger icon at the top of the screen, basically those three horizontal lines, to access your main menu where you can get to scheduling a showing and all of your listing information and client information and so forth. Now you can access this main menu from any screen, and I always like to point out that down below of the main menu, you have the ability to access your profile information from the mobile, just like you would as the desktop. Now, it is our recommendation that when you first gain access into ShowingTime on Tuesday the 19th, that your first action or first task would be to access your profile. Make sure your contact information is on file and that the information on file is the best for you. And so you can place some default preferences in place on yourself as a user to make using ShowingTime a little bit more efficient on the road. You have a set of listing agent defaults that you can put in place and mark how you'd like to be sent communications for confirmations and cancellations on your listings. You also have a set of default showing agent preferences where you can mark how you'd like to be receiving, once again, communications for confirmations and cancellations for appointments. But the showing agent defaults are specific to you on the buy side. So you really have the means of selecting how you'd like to be communicating with ShowingTime on the list side and on the buy side. Additionally, from the mobile app, you have access to complete a calendar sync or update your login information. And you can access your contact details with a click of a button to make any changes to your mobile number on file or your email address, where you're receiving text messages, and so forth. Then at the top of the screen with the hamburger icon and those 3 horizontal lines, you can access your homepage once again to take further steps within ShowingTime. Now, the next topic, and one I think that is one of the most handy, is having access to your inventory, along with all of their showing instructions right from the mobile. Now, so everyone's aware, prior to the launch on the 19th of next week, our team within the appointment center is transferring your instructions from Lone Wolf into ShowingTime. So your instructions on existing listings will be there waiting for you. We do always recommend that you log in, and after accessing your profile, just click into the listings and make sure everything is in place as you would like it, as best suits your needs. But within the mobile app and the main menu, right in the center there for View Edit Instructions, as agents, you have the ability to access any of the listings with your own inventory, to enter in instructions for a new listing, or possibly update and make changes to listings that already exist within your login. Now, when you click on the View Edit Instructions, you'll see this view, which is going to be your inventory, organized by photos. Now, you can scroll through that list or use the search bar at the top of the screen to locate a particular listing. And once you've found it, you can simply click or select on the photo of that particular listing to get to the listing worksheet, or the page where all the instructions are entered for showings. Additionally, at the top of the screen, you have the ability to filter your view so that you can look at your inventory as all of your listings, or just those that have incomplete instructions and may need an update with showing instructions. Now, if you do click on that filtering option for incomplete instructions, you'll see the photos within that particular inventory. And if you happen to start the process of entering instructions on a new listing, you'll see the screen that just popped up on the right, and the mobile app will start prompting you into the workflow to enter in all of your instructions. And myself personally, I'm actually a big fan of entering the instructions from the mobile, simply because the system is going to prompt you for each and every step until it's complete. So you'll see this first screen that's going to ask you to enter in the appointment type. And you can select that, as there are a number of different appointment types within ShowingTime. You have the appointment required, confirm with all, which means that you need someone's permission to have a confirmed appointment. You can have a number of contacts on that listing, and you can give any number of them the permission to confirm appointments. As soon as the first one of those designated contacts confirms an appointment, then you have once they confirm the request, then you have a confirmed appointment. Appointment required, confirm with all works in a very similar manner, where you need permission for a confirmed appointment. You can have as many contacts on the listing, and as many of them can confirm appointments. But in this option here, with the appointment required, confirm with all, each and every one of your designated contacts, be they owners, occupants, listing agents, co-listing agents, they'll all need to confirm that appointment request in turn before you have a confirmed appointment. A courtesy call and go and show are very similar, where there are two types of appointments that do not need permission for confirmation, as they are automatically confirmed. And in these situations, your appointment requests are documented within ShowingTime and then immediately confirmed. And if the listing is marked to a courtesy call, our appointment representatives will place a call to any designated contact marked to receive a call, letting them know of a current confirmation. Whereas with Go and Show, after that documentation and the appointment being confirmed, notification will go out electronically by text or email. But Go and Show is really designed for homes that are vacant and on lockbox. So whereas communication does get sent out, there's not the option for a phone call. And then finally, refer to listing agent. Something that's a little bit more rarely used, but it's there for those situations when you have listings with very complex showing instructions. And it's easier for you as the agent to handle the appointments yourself, but you still want that ShowingTime documentation, and you still want your feedback requests going out. For this appointment type, our staff will let the caller know you're handling the appointments as the agent. They'll try and warm transfer that caller over to you, and in the event that that can't happen, they'll pass off any contact details the caller might need to reach out to you to set up that appointment. So once you have your appointment in place, or your appointment type in place, you can simply click the next button to continue that process of entering your instructions. You'll be asked if this is an agent accompanied showing. If so, you can just adjust the toggle and start that specific workflow. After that, you can add any listing contacts that you might need to, maybe a co-listing agent, maybe a tenant, maybe a homeowner. Simply enter in all their information directly from the screen by clicking Add New Contact. Oh, excuse me, I got ahead of my slides there. I apologize. Not only with adding contacts, if you have worked with someone previously, you can search for their last name within your appointment center to add an existing contact. So you don't have to add in their phone number and email address and text number every single time. You can create someone new right from here and enter in all of their contact information, or once again, search for a co-listing agent within the office. After that, you'll want to mark who has the permissions to confirm an appointment. You can make those designations for each of the contacts that are marked on this listing, marking if they can confirm an appointment. And if they're doing so, how are they receiving the ability to do so? You know, can they confirm just through a text message, through an email, through a phone call, or any of the above? They can also be marked to send an FYI, which sends them a notification not to ask for their permission, but to let them know an appointment has been requested on such a date at such a time. Then you can specify how the individual is going to receive the rest of their notifications, such as confirm notifications, cancellations, or requests for rescheduling. And after you've completed that workflow, you'll see this screen here, which is going to let you know that your instructions are complete. Now from here, you can go in and add showing rules, such as restrictions and blocking out specific dates, or adding in an exception to the rule that you have. You can add in custom instructions, such as the notes for our appointment staff or notes for the showing agent. And you have a button to go right back to that listing. So if you'd like, you can review what has been put in place and make sure that all those showing instructions are in proper order. Now, the next topic to cover is accessing your client information. And sometimes the way I like to describe the information within ShowingTime is think of it almost as different inventories, right? You have an inventory of your listings. You'll have an inventory of appointments. You'll have an inventory of your client information as well. And you have the ability to access both buyer and seller contact information directly through that main menu. Now, your seller information is tracked within ShowingTime. Your buyer information is optionally tracked, and please note that this information is private to you as an agent. And through the mobile app, if you happen to click on either one of those, you'll be brought to that specific inventory of those clients. And here we're looking at the inventory of my buyers in my mobile app. So you'll see them listed alphabetically from A to Z. You can simply click into their name to access their contact information in case you need to make any updates for their email address or their phone number. One of the biggest benefits that I think sometimes goes under the radar within ShowingTime is that when you enter in buyer information into ShowingTime, it's not just to kind of keep their contact information on file, but you have the ability to associate them with particular showings, so that if you worked with someone for a number of showings and you associate them to the buyer, or as the buyer, excuse me, you can open up their buyer details and see those past activities that they've been associated with. So you can see historical information about appointments you've had with this client last week, last month, last year, if need be. Now, in a very similar manner, here we have my seller information that's on file within the mobile app, and it works in the same manner where they're arranged alphabetically. You can simply click into one of their names to see their particular seller details. You've got their mobile number, email address, any notes that you've entered from the desktop version. And what's very important, sorry, as my slides get ahead of me, that you'll notice in the center on the seller details, we have a listing marked here. As in a similar manner to buyers possibly being associated to showings that they're involved with, you can also have the listings that your sellers have been associated with. So you not only have contact information for your clients, but you have the historical information for what they're associated with within ShowingTime. And then probably one of the most efficient features with all of the contact information for buyers and sellers is that if you happen to click on their mobile number or their email address. It's going to open up the functionality within your smartphone to begin a call or a text message or an email outside of ShowingTime, so you have that quick and direct access to your clients. Now, next up are the showing details. As we go back to look at that main menu. And once again, I always like to think of this as think of your appointments as being an inventory, right? You have an inventory of appointments that are occurring on your listings, and you have an inventory of appointments that are made by you on the buy side, possibly. And you can access either one of those inventories simply by clicking on My Listings or I Have Requested. And here we're looking at the showings that are occurring on My Listings. You have filtering options at the top of the screen so that you can look at any upcoming and future showings that are scheduled within ShowingTime. You can click on the past filtering option to see any appointments that have happened in the past that you might need to refer to. Clicking into any one of those particular activities, whether past or future, will open up the appointment details for that particular showing. Now here you'll have a color-coded status for future appointments, letting you know if this is awaiting confirmation, confirmed, or declined, and so forth. A photo of the listing and a brief breakdown of board information. You'll have the ability to take actions upon this appointment. And you'll see the showing agent information, because this is an appointment that's happening on one of my listings. So I have the showing agent information available to me. And what's a great feature is that you can click on the All Contact Methods link to see the contact information for them that's on file within ShowingTime. Or you can click that caret or chevron that's on the right-hand side of the screenshot, and it'll open up the agent-to-agent messaging within ShowingTime. This way, if there's any information or any questions, something you need to communicate to that agent in particular, you can open up some direct agent-to-agent messaging directly within ShowingTime and send them that message in relation to this appointment. Now, once you're ready, you can go in and confirm the appointment, decline, or propose a new time with a simple click of a button. And this is just a view, my apologies, on the right. As we scroll down the screen, as once you click your specific action, you'll see the screen that we have on the right-hand side, and you can confirm or decline or propose a new time with a simple click of a button down below. Now, scrolling on down the page even further, you have access into your appointment history. You can click on that option and open it up so that you can see who made the appointment. And how was it made? Was it requested online or over the phone? Who was sent notification? Who may have confirmed? Who had declined? So do note that you do have the appointment history available to you from the app if you ever need to go back and verify how that appointment was scheduled. Now, in a very similar manner, as I had mentioned earlier, you do have access to the details for showings that you have requested on the buy side. Once again, almost going to that inventory of appointments you've requested. And you'll see them arranged in a very similar view, where you can filter for upcoming showings that you've requested. You can filter for showings that you've requested on the buy side in the past. And you can click into any one of those activities as well to access the appointment details that have been entered through ShowingTime. And it breaks down in a very similar manner. Once again, you have the ability to see a basic breakdown of board information, take any actions on that appointment. You have access to the listing agent information, their contact info, as well as, once again, selecting that caret or chevron on the right-hand side so that you can send an in-app message to an agent directly through this appointment. And have all of your showing information tied to one activity within your mobile app. Now, additionally, you can access any buyer tours that you create through Showing Cart on the desktop. And please note that going through Showing Cart in detail will be illustrated on an upcoming training on Monday morning. We've broken our trainings into specific topics. So today we're going to really focus in on the mobile app, but I hope to see everybody once again in our upcoming trainings looking at setting the showing instructions from the listing worksheet on the desktop, or looking at offer registration next week, and looking at our reporting tools as well. But so you're aware, Showing Cart is a feature that you can use as a buyer agent. and it gives you the ability to request a number of appointments from a single page. And not only does it do that, but it'll plot all of the locations of those homes on a map. You can access turn-by-turn directions and even share that map and direction information with your clients. And once you've created your tours from the desktop, you can simply, from the main menu, click on Showing Card. And you'll see any upcoming tours that you have scheduled directly from the mobile app. If you happen to click into a specific tour, you'll see a breakdown of all the appointments that exist within that tour. They're going to be color-coded for status. So you'll be able to see those that are in green have been confirmed, and those in yellow are awaiting confirmation. If anything's in red, it has been declined. And you can also click into those specific appointments to access the appointment details about those stops on your tour. And from there, you can take actions on those appointments if you need to cancel or reschedule. You'll have lockbox access if it's been provided, any notes from the listing agent. You'll have the ability to access that in-app agent messaging if available. But very importantly, like I mentioned, you'll have the ability to get turn-by-turn directions or view this stop on a map so you know exactly where you're going upon your tour. Next up is requesting a showing. This one I think can be the most important because this is where the main activities happen within the app. And the way that you request a showing online through the app is through the Schedule a Showing link at the top of your main menu. Now, when you access that link, it's going to give you a view of your inventory by default. And I'll explain why in just a few slides. But if you're ever looking for a listing to schedule upon, you can simply search for the address or the listing ID from within the search bar, possibly to locate another listing that's being handled through ShowingTime. And one feature that I'm a big fan of is the Near Me button that's at the center top of the screen. Because if the location services are on within your device, your phone or your tablet, and you click on Schedule a Showing and then select Near Me, the mobile app is going to search for other listings that are being handled through ShowingTime that are near to you in a geographic location. Your page will update and you'll see a list of all the properties that are near to you at that time with their estimated distance labeled above their photos. So if you happen to be out with clients and you wind up having more time than you thought you did, you could find another listing that might be in that same neighborhood that's available to show through ShowingTime. And once you've found that particular listing that you'd like to schedule upon, you can simply click on it and you're brought to the scheduling screens here. You can enter in the date and the time, the duration of the appointment that you'd like to schedule. You have the ability to look at that listing's availability upon a calendar, if that is a little bit more efficient for you. You scroll down the page just a touch and you'll see the appointment details that are available for you to see. You can send a note to the listing agent. You can then scroll down the page further to confirm your contact information and your preferred means of contact and simply request that appointment with a click of a button. Now, looking back at the screen that you'll see when you first click on the Schedule a Showing button, I had mentioned that you see your own inventory as a default. And this is because there may be a situation where you might need to schedule an appointment on one of your own listings on behalf of someone else. Now, please keep in mind, you'll be full-time appointment center users, so you can always have that agent call into the brokerage to schedule the appointment. They'll be transferred to our appointment center. You can refer them to scheduling the appointment online or dialing right into the appointment center if need be. But if ever the situation arises where you need to enter an appointment for someone else on one of your own listings, you can very easily do that. Simply click on My Listings and select the appropriate property that you'd like to schedule on. When you do so, you'll have the ability to start a search for who that buyer agent might be. Your name will populate initially in case you're showing your own listing, but you can use that search bar to find a particular buyer agent within your market. Click on their name just to associate them as the buyer agent and get into those scheduling screens once again, making adjustments to the dates or the times or the duration. You can scroll down the screen and update information to send a note to the showing agent if need be. You can see the contact information and the means of contact that they have on file within ShowingTime. And once again, simply request that appointment through your mobile app with a click of a button. Now, one quick topic so everybody's aware, I've been mentioning the in-app messaging and showing you the functionality where you have to open up a direct agent-to-agent message from within an appointment. But so you're aware, you do have the ability to keep in touch with other agents directly through the messaging icon at the top right hand of the screen. And when you click on that, you'll be brought to a view of all of your existing conversations. Think of this almost as like the ability to text another agent within ShowingTime. It will hold on to threads so you can open up past conversations and continue them simply by clicking on that particular thread, entering in the information that you'd like to send to that individual, and carrying on that conversation through ShowingTime messaging. Now, you also have the ability to create a new thread. Simply select the addition sign, and you'll see the screen where you can start entering certain individuals. Click on people and start searching for those who you'd like to receive this communication. You just highlight the checkbox next to their name, and you do have the ability to add make a group thread, I should say. And once you have all of the individuals added to the thread, you can start that conversation directly through your in-app messaging. And the last section for this afternoon is My Home, the client access to ShowingTime. And so you're aware as agents, your buyers and sellers will have access to My Home, as we refer to it, the client experience of ShowingTime. And the way that you provide them access is by saving an email address to their contact information. Once that email address is saved on file, it automatically sends an email to that address with a link and instructions on how to download My Home. Now, we always recommend passing this off to your clients where possible because it gives them the chance to log into their own portal of ShowingTime. They can update their own contact information or change their preferred means of contact. They can see details about appointments that they're involved with, and homeowners can see feedback that's published to them. Your designated contacts can confirm appointments through the app, and they can decline them in the case of an emergency. But what I think is very important is that what your clients cannot do through the mobile app is that they cannot access any listing that they are not directly associated with or any appointment that they're not associated with. Think of this as giving your clients access to ShowingTime that's very restricted. It's only what they're particularly involved with, as they cannot see your other appointments or your other listings. But once they log in, they have access to a homepage very similar to yours as the agent, where they can click the hamburger icon or swipe to the right to access the main menu. They have access to a profile very similar to yours as the agent, where they can click in to update their phone number, their text number, their email address, or how they want to be receiving notifications through ShowingTime. They can also access their notification center from the top of the screen there. Sorry, as my arrow went quickly, but on the left-hand side, you'll see at the top, My Notifications and the three. The clients also have a notification center where they can open up any communications that have been sent to them through ShowingTime. So here we have a showing request that was sent to one of my clients. They can click upon that and view the homeowner's version or the client's version of the appointment details. They'll see a photo of the listing. It's going to be color-coded once again. They'll have the ability to confirm appointments if they have those permissions or decline them where needed. Once they take that action, they'll see this pop-up there that lets them know the result of their action. Now, this appointment that I had the screenshot from was an appointment required confirm with all. So while this individual did confirm the request, they're getting a pop-up that lets them know, hey, you successfully confirmed, but there are other parties who need to confirm as well. Had they been the only one who needed to confirm, they would see a green check mark, and it would let them know that their appointment was successfully confirmed. Now, your clients can also access appointments that have happened in the past in case they want to look back at historical information. And they'll also have access to tours that they were associated with on the buy side. They can click into any of those appointments upon those tours and see those appointment details once again. They'll have the ability, just like you, to view that information about the listing on a map, get turn-by-turn directions, and even calculate commute times. So they can figure out how long it might take them to get to the office or the children's school or the grocery store if they happen to purchase this home. Also, we'll see a number of addresses here, as you can associate an individual to a number of listings that they might need to manage within ShowingTime. And if they happen to click on those addresses, they'll see the homeowner's version of the listing activity report. This way, your homeowners have visibility into the showings that are occurring on their listings, whether it's a summary of the showings or a bar graph and an overview showing them how many appointments have happened over time. They can adjust the icons at the bottom of the screen to see the particular activities and appointments that have happened in the past or maybe are upcoming. They can adjust that icon down at the bottom of the screen so that they can see any feedback that's been published to them. And they'll have the chance to click into those feedback responses and see exactly what that showing agent has responded and that you as the listing agent have published to your homeowner and given them the chance to see. Now, that is everything that I do have prepared for the afternoon. I went about a minute over my time frame. Thank you, everyone, for your patience there. I did want to say thank you once again to everyone for joining me for today's training and taking the time out of your day. I highly appreciate that. I'm going to stay on the line here and check in with my colleague who's been monitoring questions. We'll make sure to answer any questions that do arise here this afternoon. If you're all set, please feel free to exit the training at your leisure. I hope to see you tomorrow morning for the training going over our graphical reporting tools. We've got trainings next week on Monday for the listing worksheet, another one for the reports. We'll be looking at offer registration on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we'll be looking at the mobile app one more time and another session for offer registration. So please feel free to register for as many trainings as you'd like. We hope to see you at all. Feel free to answer those questions, and thank you once again, everyone, for your time.